Welcome to episode number 61 and my special guest, David Caraccio from San Antonio, Texas. David, welcome.
Thank you.
So glad you're here, and tell us a little bit about what you did before real estate.
Before real estate, I was an EMT in San Diego. And then I actually joined the military back in 2010. So I was a combat medic for the Army for about 6 years. And throughout that time, I deployed with 10th Mountain in 2013. And then when I got back, I actually got reassigned to San Antonio, Texas, where I was working in the BAMC ER. And during that time, I moved up from team lead to operations manager, working with a lot of the systems behind the ER. And during that time, I decided to get into real estate. So I started working with real estate towards the end there. And then when I got out, I became a realtor.
Well, that's amazing. Well, you and I have a lot in common. One, we both have Southern California in our background, which I know you and I loved. Mm-hmm. And I was a medical supply officer, so worked with medics. I was stationed in Fort Sam, Houston, as well. So familiar with BAMC and all that. So we have that common bond. So awesome. So you transitioned out of the military into real estate. What did you learn in the military? What did the military teach you and train you that transferred into your entrepreneurial career?
Structure being number one. I feel like a lot of realtors have struggled with keeping a good track of their time and keeping a good structure in place in order to handle the multiple operations that we're performing all at once, with receiving new clients, working with our current clients, and doing client follow-up at the end as well.
Yeah. So you brought over system, structure, process, obviously, is what we get taught in the military, and brought that over to your real estate practice. How has that helped you get started faster, more consistently? Tell us how that's translated to your business.
Well, going from being a full-time medic in the Army and it's going to real estate, I looked at real estate as a full-time job. And I feel a lot of people get into the job thinking it's a part-time job and they can do it on their off time, or just work the weekends and have a week free, or vice versa. And I think anyone who's been in real estate longer than a couple months has realized it is a full-time job. And having that structured background and build a good solid foundation has allowed me to, which we're working on right now, is multiplying my foundation to be able to have more realtors and other people in my team be able to replicate the same type of structure that I'm performing now.
Yeah. One of the standards that we have at JPAR is we require, full-time realtors, because we believe that the consumer is better served, through someone who's closing and working with clients 6 or more times a year versus someone who's just, doing onesie-twosie. So we are aligned on that. What's been the biggest hurdle for you as you've started your business?
It's always the roller coaster. I feel like a lot of realtors go through this as well, where you'll have a very slow month because you're working with a lot of new clients, and then you get them into being under contract, and you start working more on the current closings than you are with the more the marketing side. So you have this roller coaster of a slow month, a really busy month, and a slow month. And it just is, overall, non-ending roller coaster that a lot of realtors experience over the years. My hurdle that I'm currently working with and starting to succeed in is reducing that hurdle. So my first couple months with this new system in place, I kind of stayed pretty steady. It wasn't my best months, but it wasn't my worst months. I was pretty even. And as the months continue, as we continue to build upon the system that we put in place, it's the consistency is rising, but I don't see it being a roller coaster where it's a major drop at the end.
Yeah. So you've eliminated the ups and downs, and created a more consistent income. Mm-hmm. So congratulations on that. What are some of the things that are helping you be more consistent in producing a steadier monthly flow of income?
Well, first off, for me, it's actually showing up to the office. I love working from home. Unfortunately for me, I don't get anything done at home. So for me, one of my big realizations in being successful is just to show up to work. That's number one. I have a home office I'm sitting at right now, but I'm not as productive at my home office as I am at my real office, because I have more of a deadline. I want to get things done by a certain time. and I'm more focused on just getting work done so I come back home to my family. But really figuring out what processes are available to us, especially at JPAR with KV Core, using that CRM, and then also using Google Suites as well to integrate through Zip Forms and other software tools. Using those tools together has been, the most beneficial for myself and my business so far.
Yeah, cool. Have you ever wanted to quit?
Yes, I think that's a statement that every single realtor has thought about once before is when to throw the hat in. There's certain times, we're working with tons of personalities. That's the great thing we get to work with in our business, or the benefit of working our business. But there are times where you're working with a client and the personalities are just a little bit different, or you're working with another agent or another person in a team that's involved in your closing, and it can be difficult at times. But really trying to find a solution, trying to work together and find the end goal, which is to help a family move into a new home, is what kind of helps us get through those times. But I just had a closing recently, and I don't want to say their name, but I just had a closing that was very emotional for everybody, and I'm glad we were able to close. It was a long process, but we became really good friends throughout the process. So it's a very unique opportunity that we run into. But yes, quitting has come to mind, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Right. So tell us a little bit about marketing. What distinguishes you in your marketing from maybe what others are doing, or that would be attractive to clients?
So we have a lot of, my background, I used to be in photography. So I took that photography background and moved it into real estate. And I'm a true believer that 80% of our business is marketing. And 20% is working on the current business we have, but 80% needs to be attended to marketing campaigns and farming and different aspects of marketing. For me, I'm a very big advocate of making content. So I do a lot of free content for my clients and my friends and family, my sphere of influence. So we try to produce about 2 videos a week. We're doing our new, which is actually thanks to you, our investment property of the week video, where we go on Facebook Live and announce our top properties of the San Antonio region for investments. And we just are a little bit more on the video content heavy, whereas a lot of realtors still do blogs, or a lot of realtors will share other posts. I'm trying to create that content firsthand.
Yeah. So massive content creation that adds value. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like what makes you brand you as the local area expert.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, so if you were to give the audience any advice about building your business, creating a consistent income stream versus this up and down, what would it be?
Well, one of my mentors when I first started real estate, there's a group of us that were brand new to real estate. We would go to the weekly classes every Tuesday, show up to class for about an hour, 2 hours. Then after that, we'll kind of, spread off, do door knocking, call expireds, try whatever we can to drum up business. But there's also a group of us who would, and I'm not saying myself, just a group of the new guys, would also sit in the corner and play video games or play on Facebook and not really work on their business. Right. And this mentor of mine would walk into the classroom, and he was only in real estate for about 2 years, but very successful, would walk in and say, "What did you do today to generate a lead?" And most of us in that room would just sit and say nothing. And he made it a very, very, big point of his business plan that every single day he'll walk home knowing that he was able to generate at least 1 lead a day. And so just keeping that in mind and keeping that routine, eventually you'll have more than 1 lead coming in each day. But having that aspect when you wake up in the morning and go to work, that you have a goal is to get a new lead, to start working with a new client, and eventually close on a new deal.
Yeah, love it. I call it the bullseye.
Yeah.
Just get that 1 appointment. Each day, get that 1 appointment. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to join us today and share a few nuggets of success. Before we wrap up this episode, is there any other words of advice or wisdom or things you'd like to share about either yourself, your business, or the San Antonio market?
Well, the one thing I always recommend is always finding a mentor. I think that's been a key part of my business. And mentor, you don't always have to be in real estate too. My first mentor was actually a loan officer. And then actually I found a chiropractor that became a good mentor of mine. He was very heavily motivated on marketing campaigns and using Facebook and getting Google reviews and doing whatever he can to spread the word of his business. So I used him as a good mentor and a good resource for a long time too. I think even the big top producers that, in their office or local region might be outperforming everyone, they can still hire a coach to be a mentor. So, whether you're just starting off or you're a top producer already, finding that mentor that will help push you and can help you perform better than you already are is going to be very beneficial no matter what part of the career you're at.
Yeah, for sure. I call it the mindset, models, and marketing. If you have the right mindset, which you have is the growth mindset, you find the models to follow. I love that you're using people outside the industry, because that brings in marketing ideas, whether it's a chiropractor or any other business professional, and then obviously the marketing that drives it. So that's an amazing tip here. Well, I appreciate your time together. I'm glad your investment of the week videos are becoming successful and generating some more consistent leads for you. And I appreciate your time today, and we'll see you soon.